Hi, everybody, and welcome to the preview special for the 2017 Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade. I'm Dan York.
And I'm Susie McGraw, and I can't believe it's the 57th annual Santaland Parade. It is just unbelievable that we've been doing this and going strong for so many years here in this great community, and bigger and better than ever, no doubt about it.
Garden City's longest running tradition, and by far Garden City's greatest tradition, coming up on Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m. The theme for this year's parade is a storybook Christmas, and Susie, every Christmas is a storybook Christmas for you.
It's true, it really is. But this one, officially we're going to call it that, and I can only imagine the creativity that the different float designers and things are dealing with to make it come to life. It's always the most exciting part to see how the theme is interpreted year after year.
So this show is to tell you all about this year's parade, to get you information. Don't forget, of course, you can go to our website, santalandparade.com. That is santalandparade.com to get any of the information you hear today on this show. We want to thank our sponsors. We have interviews with some of those sponsors that we'll have on this program. But again, we want to make sure that you're informed. And of course, we want to make sure that you show up for the Santaland Parade for 2017.
Absolutely. New this year, we're going to have 2 official performance areas, which is very exciting. The first one is the traditional area where we are doing our work at the parade, directly outside of City Hall on Middle Belt Road. But a second area for the parade performance portion this year, and it is the DDA's official performance area.
Absolutely.
And so it means that everybody along the route will have a better chance to see some of the very specific parades. We stop it and start it so that every float can kind of do its special thing, musically, whatever. But having it 2 times going on, it's double the pleasure. How's that?
All of our marching bands, all of our special performance groups, if they stop for the telecast in front of City Hall for GCTV, they will stop again in front of the DDA offices located on Ford Road, just east of Middle Belt Road.
Yeah, and if you think those bands sound good when they're marching, I tell you, when they stop, it's even better. So can't wait for that.
The parade route, the same as it's been for the last several years. The parade starts, as it always does, at Garden City High School. It travels south on Middle Belt Road. It will travel then east on Ford Road, take a left. Again, go by that DDA performance area that's right in front of the DDA offices. And then the parade will end near Central Street. And then from there, everybody can go to the DDA's post-parade event located in the Town Center parking lot.
That's right. So a few little different specials going on this time around. But the great news is that the parade traditionally is going to bring all the wonderful things that we look forward to seeing year after year. And that's the most exciting part. Everybody has their favorite. And, we always talk about what's your favorite little portion of the parade. They change over the years as well. But I just can't wait to get there and can't wait to bring the community out and have everybody come down and see it with us. I think also just noting, we'll talk about weather, we'll talk about all sorts of things on this show, yes, so we can be fully prepared, but understanding that the Santa himself, the guest star, will be receiving the key to the city in a little bit of a different location as well this time around.
Right, Santa always receives the key to the city in front of Garden City City Hall. He will do that again this year, but he'll also receive the key to the city from the mayor at that second performance area, that special DDA performance area. And also right there, the float winners will be announced. Normally those are done in the parking lot area where the DDA has their event, but to kind of get rid of some of the confusion and congestion, they'll do that all out on the street. So Kevin Kramus will be there hosting the DDA's performance area. He'll announce the float winners. He'll have Santa Claus get the key to the city from the mayor a second time, so you can see that twice if you want to start in one place and run to the other, and then go from there to the DDA's post-parade event.
I like that. There's a lot going on. It's going to be very exciting. We'll have coverage throughout the entire event here, pre-event as well, which is always fun, and it really is the best place to be in Garden City on the best day of the year.
Now, there have been a lot of questions this year about the staging for the Santaland Parade. Last year, with the construction of the high school parking lot, the parade was staged differently. Everything was laid out on Maplewood Street. This year, we're able to return to our normal staging in the parking lot of the high school. So the Santaland Parade will be staged in the parking lot of the high school as it was in 2015 and 2014 and 2013. Every vehicle, every entry will enter from Maplewood and Central. So that is the driveway that runs behind the gym at Garden City High School. everyone should be coming basically westbound on Maplewood to turn into that driveway where there will be a check-in point. Middle Belt and Maplewood will be blocked off, so traffic will not be allowed to cross Middle Belt. Obviously, that's for the parade, but it will be closed a little bit earlier. So Maplewood at Middle Belt will be closed off. So if you're out that morning and you aren't one of the parade entries, you probably should try to avoid westbound Maplewood anywhere from Hartel west. But again, that's where the check-in point will be. It'll be at Central and Maplewood. So walkers, you won't be able to drop your kids off that way. You'll take, if you're a walker in the parade, you go to the Cambridge parking lot off of Cambridge, and you can park there, drop your kids off there, and then they can walk over to the high school parking lot. It's only a couple of 100 feet. But again, only vehicles, only floats, they'll enter at Central and Maplewood. If you're a walker in the parade, if you're a participant in the parade and you're not the car towing the float, or you're not the truck that's going to be in the parade, then you should park at the Cambridge parking lot off of Cambridge. That's Cambridge Junior High, Cambridge Middle School. You park there, and then your group can walk over to the staging area. But again, the parade will be staged in the high school parking lot again this year. There will be no entry from Cambridge Street into the high school. That will be blocked off too. So the only way to get into the high school parking lot that day will be from Central and Maplewood. And again, you'll only be allowed in if you have an entry vehicle, a vehicle that's going to be in the parade.
Over 70 entries this year, including 4 marching bands, the Great Lakes Garrison, Miss Michigan USA, gracing us with her presence there. We're going to have all those fun mascots that I know you love so much, Dan. And of course, my favorite big guy, and that is Santa Claus. Every other day of the year it's you, but this time around, sorry, Santa, hands down. What can I say?
All right, so again, it is the 57th annual Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade, coming up on Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m. Happy holidays, season's greetings, and Merry Christmas, and welcome to the Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade.
I'm so happy to be back in Garden City. It's my favorite place to be. All these children have grown so much this year. What do you give them?
We love what this parade represents. That's community, that's goodwill. We always want to say peace on earth, and to new friends, to old friends and family, welcome to Garden City.
As we continue our preview special of the 2017 Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade, coming up on Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m. in Susie, the excitement is building. It's getting closer and closer and closer.
Oh, it is. 57th annual. It seems like it was just yesterday when we were doing this with half of everything that we
Sure.
now have going on. So it's just amazing how large this has become. And when we talk about the different activities and events, I suppose it's always important to start with the, other than Santa, the Grand Marshal, yes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And this year we have 2 sets of Grand Marshals, and they're both sets of youngsters. This is kind of a neat thing we did this year. Now, our first set comes from the Garden City Public Schools, the HAP classes in the 5th and 6th grade. That's the advanced classes that are over at Farmington School. And during the 2016-2017 school year, there was a contest put on by the American Legion, and it was for Poppy Poster Contest. So about 72 kids between all of the classes that participated in this, and the 2 national winners came from Garden City and came from Farmington Elementary School.
Wow.
And we're going to have both of them in the parade as Grand Marshals, and we're looking forward to having them there. And we think this is a great way to tie in some youth to the parade. We normally have either famous people or we have some military folks sometimes
Right.
that are grand marshals. But this year we're going to go young. And we're going to have some youngsters, and that's not the only youngsters we'll have as grand marshals.
That's right, and this one's equally as exciting. And I like what you say about bringing in the youth for this aspect. They should be celebrated, certainly the youth of our community. And these are youngsters that are doing very positive things to impact not only their surroundings, but also a bigger scale. And this next one involves the other set of grand marshals, and they are students that are representing the Hurricane Harvey heroes. So from the Houston Hurricane Harvey tragic event, these students decided to do something different and to try to make a difference. So they created a lemonade stand for kids. Maybe you've heard about this in the news. Caden and Brianna Daniels, Chase Morton, and Maggie Lyle, they made $2,000 in donations selling lemonade for Hurricane Harvey relief efforts. They did this around Labor Day weekend, and those funds were actually sent over to Hurricane Harvey relief support. So they literally impacted not only those around us and around them by saying we should do something to get involved. They gave us a way to do it, but they put it all together, and all that money went for a very important cause.
And this is not something their parents put them up to. They decided to do this on their own, and it just kind of snowballed, if you'll excuse the Christmas expression. But it snowballed into this, and the whole community got behind them. People came from all over the Metro Detroit area to buy lemonade, maybe at an inflated price, to make sure they got to their goal. And they had no goal, and they ended up at $2,000, which I just think is amazing.
Yeah, it really is. Just goes to show you what a small group of people can do to make a big difference. And I love the fact that we're sort of partnering it up, the two groups of kids doing positive things.
Yeah,
so
they'll
they
be in two
deserve
separate
it.
vehicles, and they'll be identified, but congratulations to them,
Yes.
and we thank them for being a part of the parade. Garden City's oldest tradition and its greatest holiday tradition, the Downtown Garden City Santaland Parade.
Absolutely.
All right, and as always, over 70 entries in this year's parade, and our thanks to Pat Squires and Zach King, because they handle the entries. They can either, people submit them online, or they send in the paperwork if they want to send it through snail mail. And again, people just flock to be a part of this parade.
Yeah, absolutely. One new component when we incorporate music, of course, we have to have the bands. We have to have the bands playing the songs that we love, and they kind of surprise us a little bit every year with some. They're usually the standout Christmas tunes, but then they throw in a traditional non-Christmas tune sometimes. So I'm putting my request in now, by the way, for some crazy off-the-wall song. But this year we also have the Robichaud Bulldog drum line, and that's just so exciting, so rhythmic. I just can't wait. And as we talked about the idea of having mascots in the parade, some people might recognize mascots of old, but these are the big ones. These are the mascots that really, and I have to make up some time from last year where you might recall I had a little faux pas. I called somebody something that I shouldn't have.
All right, folks. Pause, possibly.
That was good. That was good. Hooper, pause, Rory.
Okay,
And
Hoopers with the Pistons.
the Pistons.
Hoop, basketball.
Yeah.
Pause, Tigers. Rory.
Roar, one of the at the
Excited to have
67th
them here
annual
as well
parade,
as
I
the
will
good
get it
fellows.
down
They assure
straight.
that
I promise you. But until then, anything goes. But I love the mascots. I do. And the Wayne State mascot W.
That's correct.
Will be there as well.
And we talked about the marching bands that are in the parade.
Right.
We mentioned the Robichaud drum line that'll be there, but we have our traditional marching bands that we always have, the Garden City Cougar Marching Band. They'll be with Santa, the Livonia Franklin Marching Band, which did very, very well in the Michigan Competing Band Directors Association State Championships, and the Taylor High School Band. And you say, well, is it Kennedy or is it Taylor Truman? Well, they're combining next year.
Got it.
So they've combined the bands already. This happened when East and West combined. It happened when Southgate and Schaefer combined at the turn of the century when I was born. Not the 1900s to the 2000s, but the other turn of the century. And so they're getting together. So we'll have this oversized band from Taylor be there, which will be really great. And again, to have 4 marching bands in our parade, and as good as Garden City has become, that is really exciting.
It is, absolutely. And I think that everybody loves a band. Everybody appreciates the music and so on, and the furry creatures and everything. But we do have some pop culture stuff in there as well, too. And I'm speaking, of course, with Star Wars, the Great Lakes Garrison
Is it your attempt to
Star
sing
Wars
it?
group. No, it was just a
Star Wars, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay.
Is there? I didn't know there was a theme song.
Bill Murray sang.
Oh, got it. I love it. Pop
None of
culture
this is going to air,
reference.
don't worry about it.
So the Great Lakes Garrison will be present again this year. What with the new Star Wars film coming out, I think
There's a Star Wars film coming out? No
there
way.
always is, but their timing is wonderful. It's very big right now, so we really appreciate them coming back. They really are typically in the top 3, I think, of most popular participants in the parade.
Oh, absolutely. And that was when the parade really made a big jump
Yeah.
into a much bigger parade when we're able to land them. They have a Garden City connection through through Mike Leica, rather. So we thank them for being a part of this parade every year, and we thank them for all of the great characters and costumes that they bring.
Yeah, they work very hard. The most exciting part after the parade for me, once all the other festivities are done and Santa has done his thing and so on, I love watching those characters walk down one of the side streets as they're heading back to their transport vehicle of some sort. They're, I just think that's so fun, just to see them sort of in a different light, in a different context.
And normally they will be at the post-parade event
Yeah.
put on by the DDA, so if you want to get some pictures and you can't get them during the parade route, head to that post-parade event in the town center parking lot because they'll be there.
Right. And then if your monsters and mythical creatures aren't for you, we have Miss Michigan USA, and she is Elizabeth Johnson. We're looking forward to having her there. Again, a little bit of beauty in the midst of all of the...
Other than you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
Hey, the Great Lakes Ghostbusters will be there too.
Nice.
Similar idea to the Great Lakes Garrison, and they have a very large group, and they come out with the Ghostbusters suits. They have Ghostbusters vehicles and the plasma guns and everything. Is that what they're called? I don't know. The guns, but they shoot bubbles and all kinds of things. So it's really, really cool to have them in the parade also.
Absolutely. And then some of the staples with the Redford Unicycle Club. Of course, we love having them in. Michigan Wheelmen. The Redford JC Lawnmower Drill Corps will be there, and that's absolutely a favorite. We look forward to having our Garden City High School homecoming court. Stan the Magic. It's not a parade without Stan the Magical Fireman, in my opinion. And so many more.
Wonderful.
Yes, the Royal Watch Masons will be there. We'll have all of our Cub Scouts, our Girl Scouts, our Brownies, our Boy Scouts, all of those groups, the Kiwanis, the Rotary, all of the service clubs. It is a really great parade, and they come from all over. It's not just Garden City. And, of course, Santa Claus will be there. That's the main reason we're having the parade.
That is the main reason, absolutely. We don't want to just skip to Santa because he needs that warm-up, the crowd warm-up and that welcome. But it really is the first chance for so many young people and older people to get to see Santa up close and personal. So
Absolutely.
Can't wait to greet him.
So it is the Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade, the 57th annual Santaland Parade, coming up on Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m. As our pre-parade special continues for the 57th annual Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade, coming up on Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m. And with me now is John Prosch. He is the chairman of the Garden City Downtown Development Authority, the title sponsor of our Santaland Parade. And first of all, welcome back to our show.
Hey, thanks.
And thank you very much from everyone at the Garden City Santaland Parade Committee. We thank the DDA for continuing their sponsorship of the parade. The title sponsorship of the DDA has been crucial to this parade continuing and succeeding.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're very proud to do that. being for many reasons other than the fact that it runs right through downtown, and we're the staple in the downtown area, right,
Sure.
right at Ford and Middlebelt there. So we want to be as helpful as we can with the success of the event.
Well, and obviously your support has made it possible. To pay the police overtime, to pay for barricades, and to pay for other operational needs of the parade. I don't think people necessarily understand how much goes into it.
Right.
For something that maybe only lasts an hour and 15 minutes. There's a lot of moving parts, and without that cash to pay for it, it'd be tough.
Yeah, even though the parade shortened over the last few years, but still the costs are still there, right? So
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of behind the scenes that people don't realize. So putting up that money to help that event be successful, that's very important to us. It makes the city enjoy the event.
Sure.
And everybody has a great time. So.
And the DDA has their name on really the two biggest events in town, the Chili Cook-Off and the Santaland Parade.
Yeah, we're that chili cook-off has increased in numbers over the last few years. Even this year we had a bunch of rain happening,
Right.
but still
Good turnout.
20 plus teams doing
Yeah.
chili, and we started the first year with maybe I think 3-4 teams. So.
Okay. That's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a big deal. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your business here in town.
Yeah, I'm a master in martial arts in Tung Sido. I run the PKSA Karate right on Middlebelt and Maplewood. The school's been in town here since 1998, and I've been with it since 2002. And we train self-defense, martial arts, a lot of life skills, discipline, respect, confidence boosting, self-esteem building for students of all ages. We got them as young as 4 and all the way up through adult ages that train over there with us.
And this is your second stint as chairman of the Garden City Downtown Development Authority, right?
It is, yeah. I've been on the board since 2004, I believe. And I've been in various other positions, but this is my second time as chairman.
Okay. And for people that don't know, the mission of the Garden City Downtown Development Authority, I mean, the name pretty much says it all, but what are some of the goals of the Garden City Downtown Development Authority?
So to make sure everybody understands, like Ford and Middlebelt is our main downtown area, and the Downtown Development Authority extends its arms of reach from Maplewood on Middlebelt down to Henry Ruff, and then on Ford Road it goes from down to John Hawk.
Right.
And then on Ford Road it goes Henry Ruff to Harrison.
Right.
So our job is to beautify the area, maintain a nice exposure to the public, and then work with the businesses in town to maintain retention of the businesses, and then also one of our biggest new goals is working on recruiting new businesses to come into town. That's pretty huge. So we're funded through what they call tax increment financing. So there's a tax capture, and some of that comes from the businesses in town, some of it comes from Wayne County, and a few other various areas.
Right.
And that's how we do the maintenance, like the grass getting cut down there, the Christmas tree you see during the holiday season, the whole corner area, the lighting, the Christmas tree lighting, and then of course the lighting up and down the roads, Ford and Middlebelt.
Right, yeah, the obvious thing if you're on Ford Road, one of the easiest ways to tell where the DDA district is on Ford Road is that there are new lights all the way from Harrison to Henry Ruff, and some of those are on the old poles,
Right.
but are decorative, but then there's been added new poles here in the last couple of years that are green or teal, and an LED lighting throughout the entire place. So not just the Christmas lighting, but there's bright LED lighting throughout the entire DDA and most of the city now.
Yeah, I think it really helped out the whole area. And then we're doing a couple other things that are coming up with some new Christmas ornamental decorations through the area. So that'll be new this year. So we're excited about that. And we've gotten a lot of great compliments from residents and people that drive through the town, how awesome it is in the summer season with all the flowers and the foliage, and then of course in the winter season with our holiday decorations.
Yeah, absolutely. And so talk a little bit more about the attempts to retain businesses in town and recruit businesses to come to town, because obviously people have seen just through circumstances a lot of businesses leave Garden City in the last couple of months, and quite a few of those are reflected in the DDA.
Yeah, so we've unfortunately lost a lot of business to various circumstances that are beyond the city's control or the DDA's control. we've since started working with the Garden City Business Alliance and getting programs into place with them to maintain good retention of the businesses we do have, engaging them in activities, hosting events, promoting good relationships and good networking with businesses that we have. So that's what we're doing to recruit or retain. And then recruiting, we're still trying to bind all this together, but our goal is to work on actively pursuing new businesses to come into this area and take up some of this real estate that we have. That's great Ford Road frontage and even Middle Belt Road frontage. As two main thoroughways going both directions.
And tens of thousands of cars that pass through this town every single day.
Yeah, absolutely. I recently went to an event with the DDA and met with some of the people from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. So we're going to be meeting with them some more in the future, and they have some ideas that are kind of broaden out and can help Garden City from their point of view as well.
Okay. And one of the things you talked about before we started is that you want to bring in more volunteers under the DDA umbrella to work some of the DDA events and just to work on the committees, right? That help form the thoughts for the DDA.
Yeah, so we have, there's a lot of residents that have taken to social media and talk about the good things that we're doing in town. They're recognizing it and they're noticing it and they're thankful and happy for it. So we want to extend out and say, we're welcoming anybody in the residential area of Garden City to come and be part of one of our committees. We have 4 major committees. One is promotions. So that would be everything that has to do with promoting events that are involved with and sponsored by or in conjunction with the DDA.
So like the chili cook-off or the Lucky Squirrel or the flea circus, those kind of things.
Yeah. So we have pretty decent sized events, but we have a very small group of people that are working those.
Sure.
So they get worked really well. And volunteers would be great to help out with those events, just from, parking and helping set it up and to pre-frame and get it ready for the events. So, and then one of the other committees is marketing. So marketing out for the events we do, and then also for marketing, which will become with a business recruitment to get businesses to come. So we want to tactically approach that to, try to influence business to come here.
Okay.
One of the other committees is the design committee. So the design committee has to do with anything that we're doing. Like, for example, the Commons Corners that got redone a few years ago with the new flagpole and everything. That was partly in work to the design committee. The people that were on that came up with these designs. They do some preliminary type setups, and then they bring it to the DDA board, and we approve and move forward with it.
Okay.
And then our last one is the maintenance. So with everything comes maintenance, right? So the lighting downtown, the lawn, the flowers, the garden clubs helped us out tremendously with their garden walks and their garden planning. But we're always looking for extra people, So if people are interested, they're welcome to come down. They can go to gcdda.com and fill out an application. They can come down to the office. We're right on Ford Road in the Mazzoni Office Center. And that's on the southeast corner.
Absolutely.
Ford Middle Belt.
Yeah,
so
and you
they
can't
come
miss
down.
it. Kim Dole, the director of the DDA, she's your main employee along with Teresa, right?
Yep, they're usually in the office on every day.
Yeah.
So you can stop in there and say hi to those ladies and thank them for all the hard work they do, because they really work hard. They're doing a lot of work over there, and there's a lot of events we're planning for and prepping for all the time. So as soon as one event's done, they're on to the next one, and they're doing a really good job. So we're
And one of the events the DDA puts on is in conjunction with the Santaland Parade. It's a post-parade event for the downtown Garden City Santaland Parade, and that's where folks can, kids can come see Santa, get some hot chocolate after the parade, and just kind of hang out and bask in the glow of the parade.
Yeah, just kind of relax and enjoy the atmosphere and camaraderie of other residents and hanging out and have a great time.
All right. Well, we want to again thank you very much. Not just you, but the entire Downtown Development Authority, Bruce Bolin, and everybody involved in that group. Thank you very much for your continued support of the Santaland Parade. We absolutely could not do it without you, and we wish you and everybody in the Downtown Development Authority the best of luck, because if you guys succeed, the city succeeds.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us, and you're very welcome for the donation.
John Prosch, the chairman of the Garden City Downtown Development Authority, the owner of PKSA Karate. As we talk about The Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade, it is Saturday. It is November 25th, and it's at 10 a.m.
Happy holidays, season's greetings, and Merry Christmas, and welcome to the Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade.
I'm so happy to be back in Garden City. It's my favorite place to be. All these children have grown so much this year. What do you give them?
We love what this parade represents. That's community, that's goodwill. We always want to say peace on earth, and to new friends, to old friends and family, welcome to Garden City.
Welcome back. This is the 2017 preview special for the 57th annual Garden City DDA Santaland Parade. And we are very excited to now have an opportunity to say a special thank you and shout out to those businesses and organizations that help make this parade possible.
Yeah, you know, the Garden City Jaycees forever ran this parade, and the city actually subsidized it. And then for a little while, the American Legion Riders were involved. But at one point, the city said they could no longer subsidize it. And from that was born a committee, and from that was born raising money for the parade to help pay for police overtime, to help pay for barricades, to help pay for golf carts and porta potties. There are things you need to do things safely these days. You can't just throw it out on the street like they used to and hope for the best. There are things that have to be done to make sure that everybody is safe. And these folks are the ones that make sure that we can do that. Without these donations, without these contributions, we wouldn't be able to do that. And we keep getting the same sponsors over and over and over again, and we think that's a good thing. We think that validates what we're doing with the Santaland Parade, and we certainly hope that they continue to sponsor us the way they have.
Absolutely. And when you see these names and hear us talk about them, when you have an opportunity to frequent these different businesses, go in, you see somebody that works there, you see a manager and owner, tell them thank you. I mean, that's talk about validation. That's what it's all about, is to let them know that you appreciate, just like we do, the fact that they're stepping up year after year. And this isn't small change. I mean, these are contributions. Yeah, so
and the
good
first
stuff.
one comes from the title sponsor, the Garden City Downtown Development Authority. John Prosh, the chairman of the DDA. Kim Dold is their director. And year after year after year, they've stepped up and made sure that we had that seed money that we needed to make the parade run. They donate $7,000. They're our title sponsor. And again, they not only pay for some of those necessary items for the parade, like police overtime and for barricades and that, but we're able to use some of their money towards other entries in the parade and other things for the parade. We thank them greatly for their continued support of the parade. They were the original sponsor of the parade financially, and we thank them for their continued support year after year after year. Our shining stars for this year's parade include the Bocelli Group. Ken Bocelli, who his company runs the building department here at Garden City City Hall. Ken has been a part of Garden City for decades. He once worked at the Department of Public Service. His folks do great work, not only from a business standpoint, but from their contributions to the community. They are always looking to help out different people in the community. They have done landscaping at City Park, constructed some signs at City Park that look great. They did work on the Kerwin Field sign and the dedication at Moeller Field. So our thanks to Ken Bocelli and all the folks at the Bocelli Group. They are great, great sponsors, $2,000. And also the DTE Energy Foundation. They have been with us for multiple years now also. We want to thank them for their support of our community. They have reached out to us. And again, this is a multiple year contribution from the DTE Energy Foundation. You know what they do throughout the state. You know what they do throughout the metro area, but they are big sponsors of your Santaland Parade. Also, Garden City Hospital, again, a returning sponsor that comes back year after year after year. Not only are they a sponsor of the parade, but they're very involved in the community in other ways, and financially for us, they'll have an entry in the parade as well. But we thank the folks at Garden City Hospital. They've made a lot of changes to their hospital in the last couple of years. They're one of the few independent hospitals left in the state of Michigan. And I think that's a good thing for Garden City to have an independent hospital like that running within our community. And our thanks to Jim Neve, Sharon, everybody at Incorporate Graphics. They provide the giveaway that we have for all of the volunteers that work the parade. There are dozens of people that work the parade in the areas of staging and security along the route and helping the mascots get down the street and getting things pushed where they belong. And Incorporate Graphics has been nice enough year after year after year, as I shake them down for more every year, to donate. This year it was wool hats or felt hats for everybody that worked the parade. Jim, with a store that he moved back into Garden City, Jim is a third-generation member of this community, and we thank him and everybody in Corporate Graphics for what they do.
Let's talk about the Santa's Helpers, and this is the $500 donation or contribution level to help make this parade exactly what it ends up being, which is amazing. We want to say thank you again to John Fleming of Fleming Financial. Hershey's Shoes, again, coming back this year. So many of these names are familiar to you, I'm sure. Mark Barsamian at Barsamian Family Dentistry. John Santu at Santu & Sons Funeral Directors. Orrin Mazzoni of Orrin's Jewelers. Susan Ianni, Gordon Chevrolet, also donating those beautiful cars that we get to see driving along the parade route, and Harris Funeral Homes, Dash Desai, Garden City Medical Center as well. Those are all at the $500 level, and we call them Santa's Helpers. We have Santa's Elves coming into play as well, because as we say, no donation is too big, no donation is too small. And here we go. Randy and everybody at Ace Hardware, Dr. Harvey Ellis, DDS, Comcast, Metropolitan Real Estate of Garden City. Rob Cox of the Parade Committee is a realtor there, and we thank him as well. And special thanks to the Marketplace newspaper for helping promote the parade.
Yes, again, it is so important, and it may sound like this is a giant commercial, because that's what this program is for, is to get the information out to you. This is a wonderful event in Garden City. This is a tradition that has gone on for 57 years. There are very few things in this area that have existed for 57 years, and the landscape has changed, and the only way to keep this sort of tradition alive is through these donations, so that we can operate, so that we can pay all of the bills that need to be paid to keep this parade alive. And you and I, both having grown up in this community, I mean, the Santaland Parade is just such an important part of this town.
It really is. And I think one of the things that this event does that we often don't think about is it brings people back to our community for this special event, for this weekend. They might be coming in for Thanksgiving, they might not. But I'm telling you, when we have people returning to Garden City to celebrate with friends and family for the holiday, they stay a little bit longer to make sure that they can be here for this parade. So we can't thank our sponsors enough for helping create that sense of community and that feeling of family. I know my family does the same thing. Family comes to the parade every year and has for as long as I can remember as a child, coming to Santaland as well as the parade itself. And it really is just a wonderful feeling. I always say, okay, I've started saying this recently, but you can
like
take
5 minutes ago.
Well, at least I say you can take the people out of Garden City, but you can't take Garden City out of the people. And I mean that in the best possible way. It's just a fantastic feeling. It's just, we have it here. It's very special, sort of indescribable, but you know it, you feel it, and this is the place to really
the expression,
exude
it's
that.
a Garden City thing, it translates to
Absolutely.
this. Yeah,
Absolutely.
So again, our thanks to our sponsors. We could not do this without them. We don't take them for granted. We hope you won't take them for granted either.
You got it.
And that's for the 57th Annual Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade, coming up on Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m.
as the parade preview continues for the 2017 Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade, the 57th annual Garden City Santaland Parade. We have with us now Barbara Reichwalder from the DTE Energy Foundation and from DTE Energy. Welcome to the program.
Well, thanks so much, Dan. Great to be here.
And we want to thank you as the Santaland Parade Committee and as a community for the DTE Foundation's contribution, not only this year but in years past, to the Santaland Parade. The financial support is greatly appreciated, and we appreciate everything that you do in the community.
Well, thanks so much, Dan. The DTE Energy Foundation is proud to again sponsor the Garden City Santaland Parade. That'll be Saturday, November 25th. That's a Saturday after Thanksgiving at 10 a.m. We look forward to seeing your viewers there. And it's so important, Dan, for the DTE Energy Foundation to be a part of close-knit communities like Garden City and sponsor events like this that really help spur the economy in the local area and get the citizens out to support the local businesses.
Now, this is, again, not the first year that the DTE Energy has sponsored the parade, but in this case, it's under a different program. Is that correct? A pilot program that just started?
That's right, Dan. In 2017, the DTE Energy Foundation started the Community-Based Giving Program. This program supports events in communities like Garden City throughout the state. So from Monroe, Escanaba, Traverse City, Grand Rapids, the Thumb, all over the state. And the program has supported 130 events so far this year throughout
Wow.
Michigan. Really
That's very
impressive. We're very proud of that. It is the mission of the foundation to be a force for growth and prosperity in all of the communities where we live and serve. Our employees not only live in Garden City, they work in Garden City as well, and it's important for us and our employees to be part of the community. Our employees love to give back, and this is a way that we can demonstrate that.
Well, obviously, again, from a financial standpoint, that's a donation of $2,000, which is very significant, and that is greatly appreciated. But what are some of the other areas where the foundation has shown its support financially over the last 12 months?
So recently, the DTE Energy Foundation supported Art Prize in Grand Rapids, Detroit Jazz Fest, and upcoming, the tree lighting in Campus Martius. So those are all great events. The tree lighting and Menorah and the D, those are great events coming up, and a lot of fun for the communities.
Now, you've also contributed money and raised money over the last couple of weeks and months towards the hurricane relief efforts, of which there have been obviously many of places that need this money.
Sure. Unfortunately, we've had 3 hurricanes recently. There was Harvey, followed by Irma, and then Maria. And the DTE Energy employees jumped in. They donated $75,000 to hurricane relief efforts. The DTE Energy Foundation then matched and went a little above and beyond that to another $100,000. So a total of $175,000 was donated towards the hurricane relief efforts. So the DTE Energy employees were really had heartfelt feelings for those folks in those areas and wanted to give to those folks.
And I imagine, without really knowing, not only does DTE make financial contributions, but there's also the efforts of your own employees to volunteer in some of these in some of these efforts.
Absolutely, and as part of that community-based giving program, it presents such a great opportunity for DTE employees to get involved and volunteer, and our employees are so involved in volunteer efforts. We do our month of caring in August. We had volunteers for volunteering at over 91 nonprofit organizations. So great job by all the employees. I think we had over 1,500 employees that month alone volunteering.
Wow. So DTE, obviously, as a corporation, has a great presence in the community from what they do, which is keeping people's power on and making sure the electricity flows freely and safely. But this is just another way for DTE to ingratiate itself into the community that it's been a part of for dozens, almost 100 years.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great way for the foundation to give back. And if your viewers are interested in more information, learning more of what the foundation supports throughout Michigan, they can visit dtecitizenship.com, and a lot of great information there to share.
All right, so that's dtecitizenship.com.
Yes.
Very good. Well, again, we can't thank you enough for the contribution. Again, the financial contribution will go quite a ways to helping to run this annual Garden City tradition. There are lots of moving parts and lots of places that we need to apply the money to make sure the parade can run safely also and be managed properly. And again, it is our pleasure. It's our, well, not our pleasure, I guess. Hopefully it's your pleasure, but we are very grateful for what the DTE Energy Foundation has done, and we hope that we can continue this relationship into the future.
Oh, Dan, and we look forward to seeing your viewers again that Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m. Come on out. It'll be a great time.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Barbara. Again,
Thank
the Garden City Santaland Parade, the Downtown Garden City Santaland Parade coming up on Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m., and our preview show will continue. Happy holidays, season's greetings, and Merry Christmas, and welcome to the Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade.
I'm so happy to be back in Garden City. It's my favorite place to be. All these children have grown so much this year. What do you give them?
We love what this parade represents. That's community, that's goodwill. We always want to say peace on earth, and to new friends, to old friends and family, welcome to Garden City.
We are happy to continue with our preview of the Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade coming up on Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m. Don't forget our website, santalandparade.com, santalandparade.com. If there's anything that you need to know about the parade, the maps will be there. All of the information you need about this year's parade and going forward, if you want to be a sponsor, if you'd like to be a participant, everything you need is at that website. And one of the great things about this parade that has evolved over the years is now the post-parade event.
It really is. If you feel like, well, now it's done, it's not, in fact. So you definitely want to get over to the closing area of the parade. And this event is sponsored by the Garden City DDA. Kids have an opportunity to visit with Santa Claus. There are Christmas carols, hot chocolate, Christmas cookies, and this is all taking place at the end of the parade route in the town center parking lot just north of the DDA performance area. And let's reiterate the DDA performance area too, because
Correct.
that's a special and unique thing this time around. Hopefully it'll stick. It sounds like a brilliant plan, and we'll see how well it works. I think it's going to be great. So as we've talked about, the parade sort of stops in front of our area, in
Our
front of
telecast area.
the telecast area, and we get to have all the different bands perform for us, and the different events and floats and things do their little special thing, and it's wonderful. So we know a lot of people come out because they want to stand or sit along that portion of the route, and then the parade kind of keeps going around till it ends up at the town center parking lot. This time around, there's going to be a second performance area, if you will, and we're calling it the DDA performance area. Why? Because it's going to be just in front of the DDA office. And what a nice opportunity for a secondary scouting location to actually have some really prime real estate to get to see the parade in its probably most exciting format, is when everybody's doing the singing and the music, the music's playing, and all the different participants are really at their best.
Yeah.
So it is a nice way to enjoy it. As you mentioned earlier, run around and get to see it a second time. If there's something that you loved the first time, why not? But it's exciting, and certainly I think most notable that is sort of near the end of the parade.
Correct.
So if we do get more people at that secondary performance site, the DDA performance site, they don't have far to go to get to Santa at the closing area for
Right.
those festivities.
And again, something that used to be at the DDA's post-parade event, the Key to the City ceremony
right.
with the mayor, that will be on the street in front of the DDA office. And then also the announcement of the float winners will be there. That's normally, again, so this is kind of an extension of the DDA's post-parade event. That information will be shared out there on the street. So Kevin Kramus will announce who are the float winners. There are 3 places for the float winners, so he'll announce those. And again, Santa will get the key to the city from the mayor, Randy Walker, there as well as at the telecast area.
That's right. And as we've noticed before, this whole competition thing, how best can you express the theme of the parade?
Which is a storybook Christmas
Storybook
this year.
Christmas. I think that really is the sort of the spirit of competition. It really is fun watching the different floats and things that sort of try to outdo themselves year after year. But also there's a little healthy competition there, which is really fun. And the point of this is they really appreciate, I think, the opportunity to be recognized. Those that just stand out heads and above some of the others, which are all good, but just the really detailed interpretations. We just love them.
And there are far more floats than there have been in the parade in past years, and that is really great too.
Absolutely. That's an exciting part of it. And what I love about the floats is all the participation that goes in. Maybe somebody can't physically be there at the parade to walk in it or be on the float, but they got to contribute in some way by perhaps being a part of building it, lending their ideas to the concept and so on. So it really is reflective of the entire community.
All right, and that is the 57th annual Garden City DDA Santaland Parade coming up on Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m.
Welcome back to the 57th Annual Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade Preview Special. We have covered an awful lot of ground so far, metaphorically speaking. Let's cover some ground literally now, Dan, shall we?
Wow, nice, Susie.
Thank you, thank you.
Don't forget the parade route. We're going to tell you about television. We're going to tell you how to find it on the internet, but we want you to come out and watch the parade with us. We don't want you to watch it on television. We don't want you to watch it on Facebook unless you live in Florida. Other than that, we want you to come out. Again, the parade starts at Garden City High School. That's where it's staged. It will travel south on Middle Belt Road. It will go down to the corner of Ford and Middle Belt. It will turn east on Ford Road. Again, we'll have that DDA performance area in front of the DDA office right there on Ford Road, and then it will end in the parking lot of the Garden City Town Center with the DDA's post-parade event. Again, we stress that the floats will be announced there in front of the DDA, and that Santa will also receive the key to the city a second time there in front of the Garden City DDA office. But if for some reason, if you have a note from your teacher, if you are out of town, if you are out of state, if you are out of the country, we are going to show you this parade live a whole bunch of different ways. First off, don't forget you can watch it the old-fashioned way, the traditional way, on cable television on GCTV, beginning live at 10 a.m. It'll be on Comcast 12, WOW 18, UVerse 99. Now, it will also be streamed live on the city's Ustream channel, which is always running 24/7. Also, again this year, and this is really the most popular way people watch the parade if they're not there in person, it's on Facebook. We will have it on the City of Garden City's Facebook, not on the Santaland Parade Facebook, but the City of Garden City's Facebook, and we'll also link it to the Santaland Parade Facebook. That's where all of our programming goes, is on the City of Garden City, Michigan Facebook. The links to all of these different social media can be found at gardencitymi.org/GCTV. That's gardencitymi.org/GCTV. So again, if you can't come out and see it in person, these are all the ways to see it electronically, but we really, really want you to come out and get cold with Susie and I.
Woohoo! You've got all the bases covered, no doubt about it. And another component when we talk about media, multimedia, and so on, is the opportunity to get different perspectives of the parade during the parade as well as afterwards. Now, I know we have an official parade photographer. He's a cutie, I'm told. I've met him a time or two, like 30 years ago or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have an opportunity for you to post your pictures to Facebook. Bring them on to social media, because we can't see everything from every little nook and cranny, but you can. So we love the perspective. I've loved when we get to see some of the people at the staging area. They start posting things as they're lining up and so on. Different people as they start to make formation and go down the parade route and so on, as well as crowd shots. That's so exciting. Show us pictures of your family enjoying the event with
Maybe
you
it's your
and
kid's
so
first
on.
Santaland parade.
Oh, wouldn't that be exciting? That's fantastic. And we look forward to the opportunity to see them ourselves, as well as let others in the community experience your perspective of your enjoyment of the parade. So post those on Facebook and any other social media formats that you can think of. We'd love to have
And
it.
please like us on Facebook at Garden City Santaland Parade. That's Garden City Santaland Parade. We've had something there almost every day for the past couple of months. Millie Tiskowitz, her husband was one of the founders of this parade when they first did it back in the 60s, when the Garden City JCs ran it. She turned over a bunch of pictures to us that we've been posting on Facebook slowly but surely, but we have information there again about the parade route. We have information there about other things that go on with the parade. Any opportunity that has to do with the parade, you can find that on our Facebook site, as well as our website, santalandparade.com. But also Facebook updated far more frequently. So go to the Garden City Santaland Parade on Facebook, and you can find out all about the parade.
Absolutely. You don't have to wait until the day of the parade to post whatever you want on there as well. But we love to see those action shots too, and we love your perspective. So make sure you get it out there.
All right, and no matter what, we want to see you that day, Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m., the Garden City Santaland Parade, the 57th annual Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade.
Happy holidays, season's greetings, and Merry Christmas, and welcome to the Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade.
I'm so happy to be back in Garden City. It's my favorite place to be. All these children have grown so much this year. What do you give them?
We love what this parade represents. That's community, that's goodwill. We always want to say peace on earth, and to new friends, to old friends and family, welcome to Garden City.
As our Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade preview special continues, we now have with us Leslie Fleming, and she is the Director of Business Development and Marketing for Garden City Hospital. Welcome to this program.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
And we very much want to thank the Garden City Hospital for their continued support of the Santaland Parade, once again donating $1,000 towards the operation of the parade. And Garden City Hospital goes back as probably, other than the Downtown Development Authority, one of the longest sponsors the parade has had. So we want to thank you very much.
Well, we think it's so important to be involved in the community, and this parade is such a fantastic tradition. We really feel honored to be a part of it again this year and to support the community.
Well, and we're happy to have your involvement and just as happy to have your contribution to the parade, and we very much appreciate that. So let's talk about Garden City Hospital a little bit, because still not everybody knows that Garden City Hospital has gone from what was considered a public hospital to a private hospital, and that doesn't mean you can't get into it. It's not like a private golf club, but now it is owned by a corporation as opposed to owned publicly.
That is true, and we think that the community will want to know more about that, because it's important to understand that. Well, in 2014, the hospital was purchased by a system called Prime Healthcare. They're based out of California, and they are the nation's fastest growing hospital system. So as you said, we're now in basically a private institution, but the benefit to the community is we pay taxes. So in the past, we were a 501c3 nonprofit, and we were not a taxpayer. So this is a benefit to the community, but the biggest benefit and part of the philosophy of Prime is to keep communities healthy. And without Prime's support, I mean, Prime came in and really has revitalized Garden City Hospital, and it's important because we're a big employer in the community too. So, but our real mission is to keep people healthy, and there's been a lot of investment in the facility, and there will be upcoming investment.
And that's what I was going to say, towards the goal of keeping people healthy. One of the things that the hospital has done is major capital investments in that property and in that building.
Yes.
Tell us about some of those.
Well, initially, there's been about $15 million spent to date since 2014, and a lot of those investments have been in things that you can't readily see, like, but that are very important. The infrastructure of the facility, things that are important for safety, and things like information systems. In today's world, most of the hospitals and healthcare organizations have gone to electronic medical records. So some of the, it's a big investment. Garden City Hospital had EMR, is what we call it, but upgrades are constantly needed, and that keeps people safe too. Because the more that we can reduce reliance on using a pen and paper, the safer it is. And all those records become accessible to the people who provide medical care and keep it, it's just a better way of doing things.
Well, and in the same vein, one of the things that hospitals have to do now is patient privacy. That's become a major component in healthcare.
It is a major thing, and we take that very, very seriously, and the electronic medical records are part of that. But a lot of what's been going on too is really just focusing on safety, on privacy, on new ways of doing things. Prime Healthcare is run by a physician, and the emphasis is really all about providing good patient care. And our CEO here, his name is Saju George, is very, very good, and he is also very, he prioritizes safety and quality. So it's been really great because in just the 4 years it's almost 4 years, but since 2014, we have won all kinds of awards from, there's a group called Health Grades, which is nationally known, and we're one of the hospitals that have received the Patient Safety Excellence Award in 2017. And we also received special recognitions for certain types of surgeries, like carotid surgery, gallbladder surgery, treatment of sepsis, and what that is certain types of infectious infections. And then this, in 2018, we just learned that we are receiving 4 more awards for 4 other services. So it's really rewarding. And then the American Heart Association has also given us special recognition for our stroke program. We have one of the best stroke programs around, and these are the things that are really important to people who live in this area.
Absolutely.
And it kind of goes along with some of the other enhancements that have been made to our clinical services, bringing in new doctors and things like that.
All right. And one of the things that recently happened is that Garden City Hospital opened a brand new senior ER just over the summer.
That's right. Yes, this is another thing that is very important in the Prime system and locally, a real commitment to serving seniors. And we know that that's the part of the population that is growing faster than any other part of the population. And seniors also tend to use more healthcare resources. As people get older, they get sicker, and we want to be ready. So what we've done is created a special part of the ER that is tailored to the senior population. So when you go there, you'll see that the clocks are a little larger, they have large numbers, and the staff, the most important thing is the staff has been trained to provide a little bit different care there. It's a little quieter in that part of the hospital. If you've ever been in an ER, and Garden City has a very busy ER. It's a very busy place. But if you've ever been in there, it can, they have to move quickly.
It can be very intimidating.
Yes, it can. So this area has been set aside, so it's a little bit less chaotic. So once the patients are stabilized, certainly if they need immediate intervention, they're going to go into the trauma part of the ER, but this is a special area. And we've worked really closely with the EMS community as well, and are providing each patient a special folder that's called a file of life. And what that is, it's a red folder that they can put on their refrigerator. It's got magnets, and then if EMS ever has to come to the house, they'll know to grab that folder, and inside there's a place for you to put your medication history and the names of your doctors and the phone numbers and a little bit of your medical history, so we can get a jump start. So that's very important for the older population.
Okay. Now, one of the other things that the Garden City Hospital is celebrating is a big anniversary.
Yes, that's right. 70 years in the community. We opened, Garden City Hospital opened initially as an OB hospital on Ford Road in 1947, and the timing was really interesting because, that was right after World War II and right as the baby boom was, at its height. So they quickly outgrew that facility and began planning for another new expanded facility. So in around 1960, the site that we're in right now first opened, and it's been a lot of growth and development since then.
Okay. Well, we have a short video that we want to show everybody that the hospital has put together, and really it's just a kind of a trip down memory lane, taking a look at the 70 years of Garden City Hospital.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
All right, let's take a look.
And that's really neat to see just how the hospital has grown, just as Garden City was growing during that same period of time, to see even the construction of the building originally and where it's gotten to today.
Yeah, and we're going through another growth period now because of the senior population. It is the fastest growing part of the population. We want to be ready for the community. We still provide excellent OB services, so our heart and soul is still there with the hospital, but we want to be ready for the needs that we're seeing as the population ages. And one of the things that has happened that's really important, if we look out into the community, the biggest health concern is heart disease and heart-related conditions. So we've prioritized that in a big way. And we're very proud. Just this spring, we opened what's called an interventional cardiac catheterization program. And what that means is, well, it was an elective program. And not to get too technical, but what it means is that we now have the type of service where we're able to attract some really high caliber heart physicians, and we're providing really leading edge care and angioplasty services right here in the community. So if somebody's having symptoms of a heart attack, they should call 911 first of all, but we are able to handle that now. So if somebody comes into the ER, or if they schedule an appointment and it's determined that they need this life-saving procedure, we have some physicians now that have joined us. Dr. Condor has come to us. He's at some other hospitals, but we're now his main hospital, and he's done a lot of work at Detroit Medical Center, at the Heart Hospital, and we're just kind of bringing a whole new caliber of physicians to the community. And that's so important because, you know, we really want to help when somebody is having heart problems.
Well, and it's just part of an overall commitment that the hospital has made to Garden City and the surrounding community.
It is. And we look at the health status of the community. We look at numbers, but we listen to our patients most importantly, and we see what's coming in. We talk to the community. We really believe that working with the community is so important because that's who we're here for. That's who we're here for you in the community, and that's how we start everything.
Sure.
So we look at what are the number 1, 2, 3, 4 health issues, and that's how we plan things and put our services together.
All right.
So.
Well, as a member of the Santaland Parade Committee, I've seen firsthand the commitment that the hospital has made to the community, at least through the Garden City Santaland Parade. And we thank you for that. And again, we want to make a presentation to you, and this might glow a little bit on television, but we have a plaque that we want to present to you for your years of contributions to our community. And we greatly appreciate everything you've done for the Garden City Santaland Parade, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck going forward, because your success is the community's success.
Well, thank you so much. Again, we're proud. We are so proud to be a part of this, and we're very proud for this recognition.
Well,
So
we thank you so very much, and I will let you take that. We remind you the Garden City Hospital, a $1,000 contributor to the Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade that comes up on Saturday, November 25th, beginning at 10 a.m. preview special for the 57th annual Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade coming up on Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m. And Susie, we've alluded to it throughout this preview special that there is a committee that runs the Garden City Santaland Parade. It is part of the Community Coalition. That's the charity that this is a committee inside of, that Monica Fulton was nice enough to let us kind of hide underneath their umbrella to be able to take money from donations and to allow people to be able to write off their donations to the parade. But this committee has kind of happened organically. It was not intentional to start this committee, but it kind of happened, and it's worked out pretty well.
Absolutely. We know that it takes sometimes a small but mighty group to make some very important decisions year after year, and you all seem to have it really down pat. And I say you all meaning Dan is a member of the committee, of course, and he's always too shy or kind to not take the credit when we try to give it to him. So little credit there for you, Dan. Wonderful stuff, including lots of other people, though, helping make this committee successful, which ultimately makes the parade successful. And let's tell you the names. We have Kevin Kramus, Pat Squires, Monica Fulton, Rob Cox, Craig Sager, Margot Arnowski, and they are the key players to help make sure that this parade has all of its T's crossed and I's dotted and all that fun stuff. It's so hard I can't even say it very easily. So better you all than me, I'll tell you that. But then, as you mentioned, there are also a lot of other people that are involved in other aspects as well. So helping, very key players helping with the core committee this year. We have Zach King, who is assisting on entries. We have Kim Trudgeon, who is doing the website design, and Jamie Rackleft doing photography. So it takes a group to make sure that everything's working properly. And I know that do you even take time off from year to year? It seems like there's maybe a 2-week window after.
A couple of months.
And there it is, okay.
A couple of months, yeah. And again, a lot of these people, I really want to thank them because I think some of them didn't realize they were getting pulled into a committee 10 years ago.
That's right.
That has yet to go away. So I want to thank them. You know, Kevin Kramus, somebody I've grown up with, Jamie Rackliffe, who I've grown up with. These guys have helped out enormously. And somebody like Pat Squires, who's involved on City Council, who's involved in the Goodfellows, who's involved in the American Legion and the American Legion Riders, Monica Fulton, who's involved in lots of stuff. All of these people are involved in other things. They say if you want something done, find a busy person that can get it done. And this is definitely a busy group, and we thank them. And we also thank the people, again, that volunteer the day of the parade, the folks at the Inside Out Church. They help with the parade. We'll call it security, but it's keeping the kids back on the curb. We don't want kids running out into the street. You know, you're not allowed to throw your candy onto the side of the road anymore. That's a state law, actually. But, you know, try to keep your kids on the sidewalk. We don't want them running out. We don't want any accidents. We don't want anybody to get hurt on such a great weekend. But they try to make sure that the kids stay back, that the crowd stay on the side of the road. And certain parts of the parade route, the crowd gets pretty large.
Sure.
And the kids want candy brought to them. So if you're in this parade and you've got candy, take it to the curb, please. Please take it to the curb. And again, all the volunteers we get from the Family Resource Center, that's where Monica Fulton comes in under the Community Coalition. We get a lot of volunteers there. They wear the character costumes. They escort some of the characters down the parade route. They help in the staging area, and there's other people that help in that staging area on a yearly basis. We thank them for the work they do. Thanks to Kevin Roney and the Garden City Department of Public Service. For the telecast, they will loan us a cherry picker. I think that's what they call it, so we can get that great overhead shot. They help put out barricades. They help along the parade route to make sure things are good. We thank them, and we also thank the Garden City Police Department. If you're a member of the Garden City Police Department and you want the Saturday after Thanksgiving off, tough luck, because they make everybody work the parade because they need all the bodies they can get. We have a lot of new police officers in our community, and so for some of them, this will be their first experience with the Santaland Parade, but we very much thank the police department for their contribution.
Well, no doubt. It does take just a huge grouping of people to organize it and then to execute it, and all of the people that we've just said a special thank you to play just such an important role in making it look so seamless, because it really does. When I watch this event after the fact, and I'm just enjoying it, kind of getting into the moment of the different parade floats and things and the music and so on, it's like, oh, this is beautiful. It's just so well done. And then I think about, oh yeah, I was on that other side, and I remember watching everybody, and I remember seeing all the important things going on in advance
It's all
and
duct
during.
tape and baling wire is
Well,
what it
it
is.
works. It seems to work. So we know that it is not an easy undertaking, but we know that this group and the outskirt groups are so committed to making sure it's successful, and it will be, and we just can't wait.
And it will be on Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m., the 57th Annual Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade.
Happy holidays, season's greetings, and Merry Christmas, and welcome to the Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade.
I'm so happy to be back in Garden City. It's my favorite place to be. All these children have grown so much this year. What do you give them?
We love what this parade represents. That's community, that's goodwill. We always want to say peace on earth, and to new friends, to old friends and family, welcome to Garden City.
That's it. That's everything you need to know about the 57th Annual Garden City Downtown Development Parade coming up on Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m. You excited yet?
Woo! I've been excited, and I'm even more excited now than ever. I first of all, I can't believe how quickly Thanksgiving has come upon us. And then, of course, then there's the bigger holiday, which to me is the parade, of course. So it's just coming so fast, and I'm so excited. But at the same time, I almost feel like, woo, we really need to sort of wrap our heads around it. And this show is going to get people to do
good.
that
Very good.
with all of the information that they need. So just wonderful.
So floats, so bands,
Yeah.
so community groups, so great entries of Star Wars characters, of Ghostbusters characters, all on Middle Belt Road, all on Ford Road, all on Saturday the 25th.
And Santa, of course.
And Santa.
It's a storybook event. It's
Yes.
a storybook parade, and we really, I just can't wait to see how all of that is going to be carried out, how it's going to be executed. But what Christmas story doesn't have some reference to Santa Claus in it? I just can't even imagine that. Wouldn't be appropriate. So we have to have Santa end up at the tail end of the parade and do his thing. And I know that that's a lot of why we get so excited, is because he's going to give us his ho 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 and make sure that we're all ready to move forward and embrace the season. This, we say, really kicks off the season of the
Here in Garden
spirit
City.
of giving in Garden City, and it's going to do just that. I just can't wait.
All right, beautiful. So again, don't forget, SantalandParade.com, SantalandParade.com for any information, for the staging information, for the parade route itself. Don't forget GardenCityMI.org/GCTV for all of those links to be able to watch the parade the day of. And of course, the parade will be available on television and on the internet after it happens. So even if you go out and see the parade in person, you can still turn around and watch it again online. Again, 2 performance areas. The normal performance area in front of TV Land here in front of City Hall for GCTV, and then the DDA performance area at the end, where Santa will also get the key to the city. And there will be the parade, the float awards that will be announced, and after that, the DDA's event where you can talk to Santa, meet with some of the characters that are there, get some hot chocolate, and warm yourself up.
I have a challenge for the community. May I
Okay,
try it?
please.
So here's the challenge. Every family that has come to the parade in the past, that plans on coming to the parade again this year, invite one new person. One new person that hasn't been to the parade before or in a long time.
There you go.
And we'll see if we can sort of get that rolling. We'll
Let's
see if
pack
we can
the
do it.
street shoulder to shoulder.
Absolutely. Sounds
All right.
wonderful.
A great Garden City tradition coming up on Saturday, November 25th at 10 a.m. It is the Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade.